wide world of sports.
When we think of State of Origin, we think of the best games that rugby league has to offer. When we think of the word legend, we think of the champions, the great players who've graced our fields. When we put those together, as we've done here at Suncorp Stadium tonight, what do we get? We get a lot of old blokes trying to recapture their past youth. And Ray Warren, there's plenty of them tonight, but in all seriousness, a lot of players who've achieved absolutely everything in the game.
Yeah, and for that reason, it's a bit hard to be flippant about it, but the fact of the matter is, it's a bit like entering a Clydesdale for the Melbourne Cup on a golden slipper preparation. But let's have a look at the names of the players Peter's referring to. There's the Queensland side: Belcher, Bowstead, Close, Miles, Kiss, Lewis, Oliphant, Beatson, Conescu, Dowling, Niebling, Tessman and Reddy at the back of the scrum. The New South Wales side: Eadie, Growth, O'Connor, Rogers, Ferguson, Kenny, Hastings, Roach, Simmons, Daly, Boyd returns to Lang Park, or now it's called Suncorp. Cleal and Pearce leads the side in the number 13 shirt. Some marvellous rugby league talent. Just how far they'll go, I don't know.
It's pretty special having blokes like Arthur Beach and Wally Lewis in the same side on the same paddock.
Well, that's true, although he was referred to as 60 Minutes George, wasn't he? I don't know whether it'll be 60 minutes tonight.
Well, I went into the sheds while the guys were getting prepared. I spoke to plenty of the guys in there, and this is what the players had to say as they were looking forward to this Night of Legends. Wally, they told me that you guys are going to be fair income tonight. Is that on the mark?
Well, what we've told them, Stu, is that we want to display the form that's got these people where they've been over the last decade and a half. We want to make sure that everybody that's paid their money to get through the gates here tonight is rewarded in some way, and also the people sitting at home watching on TV that can't be here. What we've said to the blokes is that we want to make sure that they just give it their best effort in attack. We know that they're not going to bust their butt in defence like they did for years for their clubs or states or country, but we just want to make sure that they give everyone a fair go.
Well, Rocket, you look good. You've obviously prepared yourself well for this game.
Yep, I've been playing table tennis. Just getting ready for it.
Where do you think the danger's going to come from this New South Wales side?
I think he's wearing number 11. He hasn't got a real good record here either. And I think he comes from Cootamundra somewhere. I won't mention any names though. But if I can stay away from him in the first 15 minutes, I think I'll be safe, because I think he'll blow up by then.
Well, Crush, you must be very excited they've named a football team after you next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty ecstatic about it, but I didn't take out a copyright, so I really put a spoiler on things.
You've obviously looked after yourself, prepared yourself for this game pretty well.
Well, mate, the way I look at it, they wouldn't try and get a draft horse fit for the Melbourne Cup with 3 weeks' notice, would they?
Wayne, I guess tonight probably stands out as one of the proudest moments, if you like, leading the Blues once again.
Probably will be, probably a highlight of the year. It hasn't been a tremendous year. I'm actually looking to make a late bid to the train-on squad for the Kangaroos.
Well, I can see the knuckles being...
Well, Artie tells me he's going to put one straight on my chin, so I'm just going to pad up and be ready.
You would never know for that, so the softening up period could be something to look forward to.
Could be. I mean, if they suspend me, how am I going to serve me matches?
Well, Snoz, you said you were the best player in the field last year. Can you put them back to back?
It'll be difficult, but I've been working towards this moment for 12 months, Peter, and, you know, I'm very focused tonight. My hamstrings have shortened up quite considerably, though, over the year, probably about 2 inches, so injury permitting, I think that I'll probably be... I'll be a better player than Steve Rogers on the night.
He still looks pretty fit, Michael O'Connor, which made him something of a rarity in the dressing sheds. But Paul Borton, New South Wales up against Queensland here at the old Lang Park. It's a nice feeling.
It's a great feeling to be here, Pete. Lang Park, or Suncorp Stadium, as it's now called. It's great. It's going to be a good night. I've been in the dressing room, New South Wales dressing room. The players are actually warming up by running a lap around Noel Cleal, but they're only allowed to do it once. They only get too tired. And for Queensland, Big GD, Arthur looks very, very big.
Can they get the money, the Maroons, tonight?
I think they'll win by probably 40 or 50, easing down.
Well, enough, that'll be the case. And one man who's normally on the commentary team, Stephen Roach, is actually in the front row for the Blues tonight, so we won't be doing our sideline work. But tonight we have Andrew Voss looking after that role, and he is with a very special guest.
That's right, Sterlo. Legends of League tonight. I'm with one of the legends of all sports, Mahatma Cope. Mahatma, thanks for coming.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Voss. Great to be here.
Now, you've been in with the players in the Queensland room. How are they looking?
I'm telling you what, they're all fired up. What about meeting the great man, the enemy of Lang Park, Wally Lewis? He is there. Kerry Bumstead, I am seeing...
Kerry Bumstead.
That is it. I am seeing the great Glenn Close, Helen Reddy. They are all there.
Chris Close and Rod Reddy. Now, what about the New South Wales side? They're pumped up for a big one.
They're looking very, very fit. You've got Numbat Edie, but I tell you, their centre combination. Des O'Connor and Roy Rogers. Are they any good?
Michael O'Connor and Steve Rogers. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing them.
I am too. I just think it is great to be part of the 9 World Awards team. You know, Fatty Wharton, Peter Sterling, the great Johnny Warren.
No, Ray.
Johnny Ray, that is it. Thank you very, very much.
We're in for quite a night, the Legends of League. I think we're just going to do our best.
And do our best we will, and I guess each of these players out there tonight will do exactly the same as the Blues of New South Wales come together with the Maroons of Queensland in the Legends of League. And what an assembly of players we've got. Chris Close in the centres for Queensland. Greg Conescu, the Turtle, is the hooker for the Maroons. Noel Cleal and Roy Simmons. And as Peter has already pointed out, a galaxy of stars. Big Rod Reddy locks the scrum, and Arthur will hold it up the front for a certain amount of time anyway. Brian Niebling and Steve Rogers, one time called the Prince of Centres. Smiles all round is the order of the night. 2 referees handling this game. Nick Stone, who is in fact the boss of referees currently, and Kevin Roberts is the other referee who will take over from Michael Stone. They have been microphoned as Noel Cleal looks into the heavens. There's a match over 4:20-minute quarters. You mightn't realise, but that's Greg Oliphant just off there to the left of Mick Stone. He's not having any hair problems. Greg Oliphant, it would seem.
Unlike some former halfbacks that we know.
And Queensland then from right to left. Mick Stone, the referee, dressed in a pair of shorts. I would imagine that he's out of the wardrobe from the late 70s. And so the first play of the game, and it is with Michael O'Connor, and he's down there under the tackle of 2 Queenslanders, Chris Close and Wally Lewis. And Les Boyd takes it ahead. He's only retired from football this year. He went home to Cootamundra from where he came, the Cootamundra kid. Forced down under the Queensland tackle. Here's the big fella, blocker. 31 out now from the line. Third play, they haven't gone very far, but by comparison with what they'll be doing in the 79th minute.
Beatson's struggling, Ray.
Is Beatson struggling
already? He's gone already. He's made 1 tackle.
60 seconds arty. Already, they tell me, as the ball is kicked on down the ground by Hastings. He's looking for touch. He fails to find it. And one of the fittest looking players out there, Gary Belcher, carries it back to the 35-metre line. The Queenslanders with Niebling, a short ball across, and picks up in the number 11 shirt. It mustn't have been Niebling. It was Niebling that finished up on the back.
Well, there's the first penalty going New South Wales way. It was a very good chase on the kick, and Gary Belcher brought it back. He actually dummied to the touch judge. The New South Wales players didn't fall for that. And Queensland get the first penalty. Steve Roach, well, I don't know whether he was holding the man down or just couldn't get up.
The tap free to be taken now. Down on the 20-metre line, New South Wales end of the ground. And reasonable to think you're going to see the best at the start of proceedings, and there's an example of it. One of the Queenslanders is down.
Greg Dowling tripped over his bootlaces.
Boyd now out to the 20-metre line. Opening seconds of what will be an 80-minute marathon for most. And now Pearce, looking as usual superbly fit. Roach chimes in, shows it one way, pops it the other, but that was a little bit too much for the man that was supposed to catch it, Wombat Edie. He put it down.
Well, Noel Cleal's made a tackle, and we're 4 minutes into the game. He's made one already. This is incredible.
Niebling's playing in the 12th shirt, Testman's in 11. So they didn't help the commentators very much by changing shirts, but not to worry. But that's our only problem. Across for Greg Oliphant. Intercepted by Kenny. Well, would you believe he'd take an intercept? Lewis wraps him up immediately.
Get up and play.
Have a look at the Bondi Bloomers on Mick Stone when we get a close-up of the next. Fair dinkum, great set. Now across for Cleal.
People might have thought that was a sidestep from Noel Cleal. His knee actually gave way as he brought it up the blind side. Steve Roach can't find a support player. Overrun by Graham Eadie. Unceremoniously dumped by Shree Queenslanders. He won't be happy about that block.
Both sides are allowed to use some of the Commonwealth Bank Cup lads from St Patrick's College Mackay, the Queenslanders, and from St John's College Woodlawn Lismore, the New South Wales team. And they're allowed to have only 4 of them on the surface at any one time. As Belcher brings it back from 15 out from his own line, Belcher pursued and pulled down by Kevin Hastings. What a great warrior he was, Kevin Hastings.
And what great support play there by Greg Kinescu, was back standing next to Gary Belcher, knew that the kick was coming. He could get straight into dummy half and obviously avoid plenty of the tackling up in the front line. Arthur Beetson takes it forward again. I know how dangerous Arthur is, and Pearce comes in, tries to drive, but can't do so.
Pearce lifted Beetson's left leg very high. He looked like he was going to lift and drive. I think he might have torn Arthur's hamstring. That's Miles. 3 metres from the halfway line. Cross to Lewis. There's the long ball on the half volley, picked up by Rocket Rod. Then he slips a nice pass away for Tessman.
That's magnificent play by Queensland. It's just there for them. It's all still there. Look at this ball from Rocket. Beautiful ball inside the knee.
No chance of it being a touch forward. That's the turnover according to Michael Stone. He's obviously able to count. As it goes across now for Kenny. Kenny throws the dummy. Lewis waits for him and puts him down with Close's help. Kenny held down late in the tackle by Close. And here's Johnny Ferguson. Kenny getting a ball much more frequently than he expected. Hastings back for Kenny. Kenny's handled 3 times and they've gone backwards. Edie back now. For Daly. That's Phil Daly. 35 out from the Blues line. I'll tell you what, they'll be wishing to God they had the other Daly here before the end of the night. And here's a man held back without the ball. Michael O'Connor. It draws a penalty. Yes, Michael Stone.
Well, Mick O'Connor and Wayne Pearce weaved some magic there for the Blues. And Junior hit the gap. Thought it was 10 years ago, and Ollie was holding back Mick O'Connor.
Michael O'Connor kicking for line. 19 origins for New South Wales between 85 and 91. Second most origin games for New South Wales behind E.T. And a shocker, as Fatty would say, to try and find the line. There's the first tackle. Kinescu, a dummy half, and this is Tessman trying to slide a short ball for Niebling. Niebling's had the ball raked up. That's a penalty for Queensland. Daly was the offender. It would have to be Phil because Michael O'Connor wouldn't do something like that. Right on the halfway line we are. Reddy looks good. Belcher turns it away, but all that was too fast for Brad Tessman. It's gone to ground. The knock on, the scrum to go down. 32 metres out from the Blues line now. We're not going too far. We seem to have been in the same section of the ground for half an hour now.
Hold, wait for it, wait for it. Wait there, wait there.
Let's go down to the sideline and see if there's any activity happening on the benches at this early point in time. Andrew Voss.
Well, as a matter of fact, Ray, the first 7 minutes hasn't been much happening whatsoever, but I've spent the first 7 minutes trying to explain to Mahatma about these referees.
Well, Mr. Voss, you told me that it was going to be Julia Roberts and bloody Sharon Stone.
No, it's Mick Stone and Kevin Roberts, mate.
I can't believe it.
Tell you what, Michael Stone looks anything other than Sharon. Wait till you see Kevin Roberts, Mahatma. He looks nothing like Julia either, I'll give you the budget. Here's Steve Roach now, 42 out from his own line. Queensland had a chance there while Mahatma was trying to work out whether it was Sharon Stone. And it was Les Kiss who put it down. Michael, now you're coming in loud and clear. Rogers plays the ball and Cleo works on a narrow blind, and this is Edie. Narrow blind, Mahatma. That's Venetian, I think. And now a little pass from Hastings. Across goes to ground. The Turtle is down there to pick it up. Greg Kinescu.
Yes, living up to his nickname, the Turtle. He's actually deceptive. He's slower than he looks, Greg Kinescu. But, Paul, I don't think there's any doubt New South Wales well and truly on top in the opening minutes here as Beetson, well, he can't make a yard, can't find a man with his pass, and they're losing ground here, Queensland.
Lewis looking in the inside. Bosted was there. Now the chance they've been waiting for. O'Connor.
Les Kiss, magnificent tackle from behind.
Hastings away. First receiver and getting it. Well, I thought he was going to give it with Royce Simmons. Simmons, he looked pretty sharp on his feet there, Royce. 32 metres out from the Queensland line. A chance for the Blues. Big Les. Big Les. My goodness, they've had him on good fodder down in Cootamundra. Now he plays at 25 out from the line, across for our man Roach. He shows it once, shows it twice. It's obvious he's the coach of South Sydney 21. And now it goes to ground. Pearce can't handle. His luck hasn't changed since the end of the season. Belcher is with it across the 20-metre line. Somebody's got him. It was Blossom Cleo. He even knows their names, Michael. That's right. That's right. Well done. Ready now. Pummeled down into the ground there by Phil Daly. I saw Roach get Beatson and give him plenty on the way down. Turned inside by Tessman for Niebling and then for Konescu. Konescu turns it again. Kiss is there. Inside ball. Niebling's with it. Niebling goes down to the 30-metre line. Waits and looks for support. Here's Lance Kiss. Kiss goes inside the 20-metre line and the 10-metre line. Can he make it? No, he's put down by Pearce. 5 metres out from the line. Lance Kiss. Good work by him. Good exchange by the forwards. Oliphant pushes it on. Close tries to step. It doesn't work. Beatson gives it away. Then it's through Miles and then through Dowling back to Miles. Oh, Miles! Pull down. Did he use one leg there to pull him down? Or 2 arms? Was it Rogers? Here's a try. Here's the first try. Little Bowie. Kerry Bowstead gets the try on the far flank.
Well, grave doubts about the try. It looked forward from here, and I'm sure it would have looked forward from down there from the New South Wales point of view as well. But Bowstead, one of the great finishing wingers for Queensland, capitalising on the good work from Gary Belcher. Well, there might have been a couple of metres in it, but a brilliant movement down the left-hand side of the field set that one up. And
magnificent pass here by Gary Belcher. Kerry Bowstead, and he dropped it over the line as well. But fair try.
Kerry Bowstead, of course, now working with the North Queensland Cowboys as their chief executive and doing a fine job. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the boot. One of the youngest ever to represent Australia, Kerry Bowstead. 6 origins for Queensland. He played 25 tests for Australia. Debuted for Queensland as an 18-year-older in 1978. That's when Thaddy was scoring those runaway tries with Wests up here the same year. The conversion successful, so the Banana Landers 6, lead New South Wales 0, 6-0, midway through the first quarter.
Get ready for a giant weekend of semi-final action. Live 2:50 Saturday, Norths clash with Canberra, and then Manly take on Brisbane at the special time of 5:30 Sunday in a sudden death playoff. 2 big matches, the complete coverage exclusive on 9.
What daily exercise can you do with a spoon to stay healthy?
Daily exercise?
That's right.
Beats me. I wish I had time for sport.
Sport?
An egg and spoon race?
Maybe not. But what about this?
Weightlifting, perhaps? I don't think this will be enough to keep me fit.
Aerobics? A bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes for breakfast provides 25% of your daily needs of vitamins B1, B2, niacin and iron.
Now that's what I call a good workout.
Kellogg's cornflakes, because the simple things in life are often the best.
Enter the Kellogg's Cornflakes Red Zone, where you will win one of $10 million worth of prizes. Take your game piece from the pack and watch Hey Hey It's Saturday to win. Everyone's a winner in the Red Zone.
What's inside every pack of Pal Meaty Bites that builds a healthier dog 5 ways? There's protein for a strong body, polyunsaturates for a shiny coat. There's calcium for strong teeth and bones, vitamins for bright eyes, and whole grain cereals for energy.
Come on, boys. You're getting faster every day, guys.
Top breeders recommend Pal Meaty Bites to build a healthier dog 5 ways.
Why have so many homes already been sold at Village on the Park? The answer is simple. It's the facilities, including tennis court, pool and spa. It's the inclusions, like the tropical landscaping, concrete driveway and lock-up garage. And of course, it's the price. Brand new townhouses here are yours from only $116,900. So why keep renting? Discover Village on the Park today in Hanford Road, Silmere. Don't be the one to miss out.
If you're on the lookout for comfort, all you have to do is follow Rolly, because when it comes to softness, he always feels at home with Purex. Purex toilet tissue, it's strong on softness. What a cushy job.
Welcome back to the Legends of League, State of Origin. State of Origin reflection.
Well, Gene Miles lost nothing since he's retired. Outstanding ball skills shown by him. New South Wales having problems still on their blind side with both Noel Cleal and Les Boyd trying to play on that side. Of course, back in the old days at Manly, Crusher was called Labrador. Always bludging on the blind, and Les was called Loch Ness. You know, he's out there, but you can't find him.
With those two gentlemen on the blind side, there's no room for anybody else. Actually having some trouble in the scrums, getting their arms around each other. There's a definite looseness about the scrum of New South Wales. This is a great...
Put your arm around this bloke playing the ball, Les Boyd.
Here's a chance here for the Blues.
It's come through to Kenny. He's going to put the run around on with Steve Rogers. They look for the flat runner. O'Connor comes out of the deep, looks for his winger. They bombed it. Chance there for Guru Growth to go in and score.
And Guru, they're just showing that if you can't grow hair on your head, you may as well grow it on your face.
Well, great movement here. Brett Kenny going around, picking up O'Connor. Thought O'Connor might have scored himself, pushed through Les Kiss, but he overran the ball, Eric Grave. Could see our first interchange player. We really saw the best of Eric Grave, did we? Through injury, saw him trip over the halfway line one day. He was out for 6 weeks. Probably should have got his first try on that occasion.
Beatson did well. He's got the ball out wide for Miles, and Bowstead links in again, but Ferguson sweats on him. 22 metres out from the Maroons line, away from dummy half. I think that's chopper close. Yes, it is.
Let him up, let him up, let him go!
Gee, I tell you what, Michael Stone's doing plenty of screaming. At least he sounds serious. Lewis standing, looking around for somebody to run, but oh, come on. Listen to Stoney, would you? No wonder they made him the boss. Oliphant on now. Belcher's given them up. He said, what about the Shepherd? It wasn't called. Play the whistle, Gary Son.
Oh, great tackle, Grove. Last tackle now. They've got a big back line, the Queensland side, but there are a lot of forwards there getting in the road.
Reddy got a touch. Lewis gave it away.
Oh, what's he doing out there?
Beatson is out at outside centre. Back for Rocket Reddy. Stands up there and gets a forward pass away, and Stone saw one at last. Well done, Michael.
6 tackle, hand over.
Oh, fair enough.
Beautiful pass, too bad it wasn't 2 metres forward.
Good, thanks, Michael. We'll come back to you for another comment on another angle replay in a moment. Ah, beautiful stuff from the boss of referees. Champion fellow, and he's thrown himself into this promotion along with Kevin Roberts. We thank them for that.
Let him up, let him up.
Cootamundra kid, he'll play it now. Will he get up? I think the marker's going to have to help him. O'Connor now crosses the halfway. The ball got knocked down, did it not?
Gee, good support play from Roy Simmons there. O'Connor trying to keep the ball alive.
Hastings is in a dummy half with Royce playing the ball. This is Phil Daly, son of the former Manly chief executive, the late Doug Daly, and he was a very fine player for the Manly side. Wore the green and gold too. Inside the 20-metre line, Kevin Hastings across now. O'Connor and Kenny, they combine, but they're sweating on Kenny. He's not going too far. Even Arthur Beatson was there. He was aware of that with Brian Niebling. The last now. Queensland leading 6-0. Cleal gets it away. Was that supposed to be an attempted drop goal by Les Boyd? Les cut your leg off. That is an absolute horror. Have a look at this. We've got a replay on that. He can show this to his grandkids. Oh, champion.
Thinks he's playing for Manchester United.
I like the way he actually looked disappointed with the kick, as though he had higher expectations.
Yes, I think you put it. Hello, Archie's gone for a blow. Arthur Beatson takes a break. Now on goes one of the lads from St Patrick's College, Mackay, to give the big man, the great man, a rest. Andrew on the sideline, you might be able to catch up with Arthur. In fact, I think you've got him now.
Well, Arthur, frenetic pace in the early stages, it's taken its toll.
It certainly has on me. I'm not up to it, really. I'm in line for the pension very shortly, and I think it did show out there.
On the field for 15 minutes. You'll be back for the last 15?
Mate, I'll be back. I just need to regroup a little bit, rehydrate, Someone got a 4X? No, I'm right. I'll be right.
Thanks, Arthur.
What about? He's got a mouth guard in it. He's got no teeth. What's he protecting? His gums.
His gums.
So Oliphant tries to get a nice kick away. It was anything but nice. It went straight down Hastings' throat, and now Kenny unloads, and out wide is Rogers, moving nicely. Look at Chicka Ferguson. He's brought down 35 metres out from the Queensland line. The Queenslanders leading 6-0. And now Hastings asked Boyd to go back in behind to play the ball. Rogers was still waiting there.
Well, they're obviously trying to get Boyd into field goal position once again. Trying to get on the board here could be important, I think, in the long run. Improve their confidence, the Blues. Haven't done that much with the football apart from when Steve Roach takes the first pass. And Boyd, hasn't he worked at the place now?
That lad that's gone on for Arthur Beats and Paul from Mackay.
Yeah, Nathan Solojinkin. He could be related to the bloke that's playing with Penrith, I would imagine. Here's O'Connor. He's looking for Grape. He'll go himself. Will he score? No. The Wombat!
Graham Eadie, what a great piece of support play. He gets the try. Graham Eadie.
Oh, I thought I was going good too. Graham Eadie, first time he's touched the ball, he's been having a shocker. He's done nothing all night.
I can feel the knife in the back.
What? Oh.
Geez, you didn't mind taking over the main commentary nice
and quick. Mick O'Connor head wobble. It gets them every time. There it is, and just this miracle ball. Who's there? The bat. Over he charges. What a great play he was in his day, Graham Eadie. One of the best ever.
And great work from Michael O'Connor getting on the outside of his man. The dummy reverse flick pass. Les Kiss picks him up but didn't wrap the football up, and Graham Eadie gets the Blues first, won't be their last.
Graham, of course, was the fullback in the very first Origin side for New South Wales, and they've thrown him the football to take the shot at goal. Looking down the barrel of a Kangaroo tour, I am proud to say I was on the tour when the changeover actually happened between Graham Langlands, the great Graham Langlands, and Graham Eadie. The heir apparent took over the job on a tour mid-70s, I believe. Eadie missing the conversion attempts. The first try for New South Wales, a classic, and a comment from Mahatma.
I'm telling you what, Wharton, did you see that? What a catch! What a great catch!
Classic. Well, a classic, yes.
I'm telling you what about this big guru? He is a beauty, I'm telling you. I think he has Indian in him.
All right, so we'll go back for more expert comments on the sideline from Mahatma during the night. He's down there with Andrew, and they're seeing it from a different angle.
Stay behind him, Moran, stay behind him! Play on!
I think they're seeing it from a fairly ugly angle at times. Kevin Hastings has wandered off. We're not sure whether he's concussed or actually he's looking for a replacement as Boyd knocks on. Boyd's not happy.
Well, Testman actually reaped the ball out there. It was on the blind side of the referee, unfortunately. We'll see here. He covered some ground to take that one on the full Les Boyd. Yeah, super game out there. And there, the Queensland hand in there. And Boyd had every right to appeal.
Well, the man with the hardest job in the field tonight is Wayne Pearce, packing in locked behind Cleland Boyd. How's he getting his head in the scrum? It's a miracle.
Belcher keeps this on the toe. There's a chance here for Kidd. Oh, what a magic kick by Belcher. He played for that.
Planned move.
He played for that.
A planned move. We can make the ball talk.
Ah, that's right. As Phil Gould said about Ricky Stewart. Watch Belcher's kick. His second kick of the ball here to make the try for Queenslander Les Kiss.
Brave move from Queensland from the scrum base, kicking before the first tackle was up. It was a planned move, all right, the first one from Belcher. I think that was a field goal attempt myself. He was inspired by Boyd. But Les Kiss, he was inspired by the Wombat down the other end. There's the king putting it over, finding open spaces.
And, of course, Les Kiss remaining on side. Too much pace for the guru. The Queenslanders, you can't keep them down. It's just a magnificent team. I'll go on with this now.
What have we got now? Les Kiss attempting, well, that's the order of the night. You attempt conversion of your own tries, quite obviously.
Well, he kicked a few goals in his day for North Sydney, of course.
He's 20 metres out. He's got a smile on the face, a little nod of approval. I'll get this, he said. Unfortunately, he doesn't. The scoreboard, 10 points to 4. The sound of the whistle, the end of the first 20 minutes. and quite entertaining at that. Yeah, the legends, some of them looking fresher than others. Queensland leading 10-4. We'll be back with more after this break. The new look Suncorp Stadium. Magnificent rugby league ground here, isn't it? Incidentally, they had a charity luncheon today in association with this Legends of League clash. And, of course, they're trying to raise money for charities. And Glenn Rowan, he did this oil painting inspired by tonight's match. And this is the actual oil painting depicting Lewis and Sam Bacco, Brett Kenny, some of the great Origin players. And at that charity luncheon, the bidding got to $4,200. Now, if you'd like to improve on that, there's the number to dial. And I'll tell you the charities that you'll be making richer as a result of it. 07217 5544. 07217 5544. The Hear and Say Centre for the Deaf Children, Camp Quality and Kids First will all benefit from your donations, and we'll give you that number again a couple of times during this quarter if you'd like to bid at the mystery auction, if we can call it that. Beatson striking for the Beatsons back on. That comes as quite a shock. So Kevin Roberts is now the referee. The First National Legends of League, bringing together some of the great names who've competed at Origin level. Well, Roach, I think, let that go through his legs. That was probably a ploy from the former great Tiger. O'Connor put down very heavily by Tessman.
He's had a great game, Brad Tessman. Some of his defensive hits been outstanding. He hit Wayne Pearce in the first 20 minutes there when Pearce looked like he might have scored. That time he gave it to Michael O'Connor.
Well, it wouldn't surprise him if Brad Tessman is actually still playing around the Maryborough area. He was last year, and he still looks fit enough this year.
Oliphant. Of course, Greg Oliphant was one of the, well, probably the most famous of the combatants with Tom Rodonicus. They were like two angry ants right through their careers. Here's a bust by Brian Niebling. On his outside is a stand-in player for Les Kith, one of the youngsters from up at Mackay from St Patrick's College. And the sound of Robert's whistle.
Well, Phil Daly lucky not to end up in the sin bin. Just gave a little bit of a nudge to the dummy half as Lewis takes the quick tap, and the short ball goes to Rod Reddy. Keeps the ball alive, back to Lewis. Oh, great stuff here. What hands.
Miles did well, and another replacement is out there in the Queensland side. Gary Belcher taking a rest. Greg Dowling across, and then it goes on very quickly over towards Posted, but in a touch.
Oh, magnificent hands here once again by Brad Tessman, who got a lovely ball out to Gene Miles. Look at this one. And that pass there went astray, but what a great thrill for these kids who are replacing some of these legends. To be out there playing with some of the greatest names of all time must be giving them a huge thrill.
Eadie, the scorer of the New South Wales try, makes some of the hard yards. Pearce. Boyd back inside. Rogers. And a replacement on for Kevin Hastings as well. Now, Mahatma is with Gary Belcher. Let's go to the sidelines and see what this provides.
Well, Mr. Pepper, that was a wonderful piece of play. A beautiful little kick over the top. Is that the sort of thing we'll see from the Broncos on the weekend?
Well, we try to teach them when in doubt, kick out. It was a bit unfortunate it stayed in play, but one of our blokes got it. And
yeah, Fatty thought it was going for the field goal, you know, for the 2 points, but you missed.
It was a drop kick, wasn't it?
Yes,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
That is very, very good. Great work.
Go back to the action.
Growth now on the halfway line. And the ball with Kevin Hastings. A little kick through. Adroitly placed, and it comes down with Gary Belcher, who we just left on the sidelines, and his stand-in. The penalty has gone, though, to the Blues. Roach up there in close quarters with Brett Kenny. A long ball over for Mike O'Connor. Now for Ferguson, and
the King!
Oh,
hail the King, he's back. Look at this magnificent tackle. Legend. Beatso gives him a pat as well. Hard man to stop Chicker. And look at this, that's classic stuff. He obviously watched me play a lot, and yeah.
And did everything exactly opposite. And Well, he's a great player, as boasted. Can't beat Kenny.
Just let him go, Pete. Just let him go when he starts. He'll run out eventually. He's like a...
No, he won't, Ray. That's the problem.
He's like an overflowing bucket of water. He will stop.
I'm glad you said bucket of water. I thought something else, but...
Ready.
Back to one.
Rockets having a pretty fair game too. I'm very surprised he hasn't bitten anyone or stepped on anyone yet. Stomped on their hands. Good ball there to Miles. Miles up the centre. Take it over, Rabs. It's all yours.
Well, you're going pretty good yourself. There's only one to identify. There's nobody coming in support. It was an ideal chance for you to keep going. Miles playing it on the halfway line.
Out to Oliver.
I thought Rod Reddy might have been tempted to tell the joke he told at Mal Meninga's testimonial.
Oh, good ball.
And the Queenslanders now with Konescu getting a pass.
There's Roach. What about the cover from the big fella? No, it's Daly.
I was going to say, you sure it's blocked? And here's Beetson chiming in. Look back inside. He lost his support. Now he picks up this young replacement from the Mackay school that has supplied the replacements. Is he getting some work? Is he getting some work? They're just inside the 10-metre line. Oliphant now back inside for Brian Niebling. Tessman was there. He's got his hand up all night. Tessman looking for work. Trying to work out who this number 8 for the Queenslanders in fact has replaced.
Well, they've handled Arthur Bootson particularly well tonight. In trouble getting those trademark magical passes away. Look at this, New South Wales prepared to attack from their own quarter. Chicka Ferguson gets into open spaces, they won't catch him.
30 metres out from his own line. That youngster's out there for Greg Dowling, I'm just advised. We saw a shot of Greg back on the benches. Cleal, the ball knocked down by Niebling and dived on by Growth. That's supposed to be Steve Rogers. Only 4 of the lads are allowed on the paddock at any one time. The boys representing New South Wales are the St John's College Woodlawn. It's Queensland now just outside the 30-metre line. They're leading 10 points to 4 as Reddy gives the pass. Belcher takes it to within 25 metres of the line. To the blind side goes close.
The quality of the defence tonight has been very, very good. It's Greg Oliphant looking to put some player up on the inside, and there's evidence of that. Very good tackle from Roy Simmons. A couple left up their sleeve, Queensland. The flick from Lewis finds Tessman. Another strong tackle from Simmons low. Eadie over the top.
Penalty goes to Queensland against the New South Welshman for raking it out.
Well, there goes Crusher. Looks like someone's put a pumpkin in his jumper at the front there. Tessman now searching for the line. Just had a look at the tackle count. The back row of New South Wales. Boyd 3, Cleal 2, and Pearce 79.
New South Wales getting a further penalty just outside their own try line, and Pearce it is that sets them in motion. O'Connor angling back in, looking for support, gets it back for Rogers. We must try and identify these youngsters when they do come on so that we do the right thing by them. Boyd now.
Fair dent left in the ground there. Arthur Beetson has tackled. There's Boyd, and it's got deeper with the flop from Beetson.
These two sides, incidentally, including Arthur Beetson, were selected by the readers of Rugby League Week. People that contribute to and read that magnificent Rugby League publication were the people responsible for choosing these two sides. A couple of them fell by the wayside after the choice was made, including Michael Cronin. Those readers have done a wonderful job because we've got a great show of talent in front of us tonight as Growth is put away 25 metres out from the Queensland line. New South Wales trailing by 6 points. And this is Rogers put away on the 20-metre line.
Work again, Kevin Hastings back into the game now. I thought he might have struggled tonight. Not easy to make Brett Kenny look good. As Roach again tries the dummy. Look at this mountain of a man. Back at centre field, this is the last. Will they go for the kick? They've gone to Boyd again. Well, that's silly.
Well, it might not be silly. It's promoted an overlap, but unfortunately he can't take it.
No, it's silly.
Way out in front of Johnny Ferguson. Yes, so it was silly.
Yeah, it was silly.
Okay, fine. Let's go down to the sidelines with Andrew.
And firstly, Ray, the news on Noel Cleal. In fact, he's gone off to have his stomach stapled, which is something new to rugby league. You were talking earlier about that painting, the Legends of League painting. Mahatma, you in fact know about the Legends of League calendar.
That is it. It is going to be a beautiful, like a beefcake calendar with Arthur Beetson on the front in a compromising, position. And also the great Junior Pearce.
Wayne Pearce, yep.
That is it. I saw him in the dressing rooms earlier. I know why they call him Junior.
35 out from the line now, no marker, and Brett Kenny decides he'll try and do it himself. That phone number for the auction, by the way, we'll pop that up for you, 07217 5544. That is the oil painting by the outstanding Gold Coast artist Glenn Rowan. And it's entitled The Legends. It was at 4,200. You can increase that auction offer by dialing that number. Edie into the back line, across from Pearce, beautiful pass. O'Connor flicks it inside. The Guru again denied a try, and Wally might have got a kick in the face for his trouble. The Blues looking very dangerous. Knocked backwards by Pearce, scooped away. Hastings shovels it on. It's out in the back line, deep out in the back line. Kenny. And now he supports Ferguson, who stood long enough, and then back for Hastings, and then knocked down. This will be 6 more. Roberts has seen it. He's nullified the tackle count. The youngsters, they get involved from St John's Woodlawn. The ball out the back. It's got to be a try, and Michael O'Connor is the one who's going to supply it. New South Wales come back to 10-8.
Ah, yes. Big Milton, Phil Daly, the Manly connection there, scoring this try for the mighty Blues. 10 points to 8 now, Queensland hanging on. Many hands involved in this try. Chicka Ferguson there, and just some good hands. Horry Hastings, he looks as fit as when he played. Les Boyd knocks it back, and then it came to Phil Daly. He wanted to go forward. He put his head down, and away he went. Look at him, big Milton. Flicks it out the back, and Snoogle O'Connor's out there. The head wobble again, and over he goes.
We should mention Stephen Doherty in the 7 and Albert Torrens in the 4. They did do plenty of work, plenty of spade work. There's the big fella with a worm's eye view of what's happening now. Right, let's have a look at this kick. It's successful, so we're all locked up at 10 points all. O'Connor converting his own try. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. So at 10 points all. Growth ambles his way beyond the 20-metre line. Roy Simmons. Noel Cleal's replacement. Number 12, that's Wayne Nassif. The Blues getting out towards the 40-metre line.
In all seriousness, there are some guys out there who look as though they could still play the game at the moment. Wayne Pearce was always going to fall into that category, but Roy Simmons, he's had a great game out there, getting out of dummy half. Spoken about Testman. He's Chicker away. He's gone into touch.
Oh, gee, that's a tough call. He must be a Queensland touchdown. That guy, sure.
Yeah, he's having a smile. He knows that he got away with it. Yeah, good one. Let's have a look. Not the first time this has happened at Lang Park, where the Blues have got a dud call. Nowhere near the line.
I saw some chalk come up.
Nowhere near the line.
Dead set out.
Yeah, Chicker knows that he got dudded.
No, Roy Simmons is having a good game for a 17-stone dwarf. He's going very well.
Actually, you made the comment about the pace of Roy Simmons. I wonder whether he's not faster now than he was. He might have found a couple of metres as Belcher comes into the back line.
I think he leans forward with his head, and it gives him extra momentum.
Close has the ball knocked out of his grasp.
Well, he was out. Look, his foot's on the line now.
Turn it up.
Well, Royce could actually be slow and be quicker than what he was. I thought he was a chance of getting booked for vagrancy out there tonight, but I think he's gone okay.
Matthew Vidler, or Matthew Vidler. He plays the ball. He's out there in the number 10 shirt. That means that he's playing for Phil Daly. And here's Les. Look at Les. He looks like public transport. He was carrying about 4 of them. And now up the centre they go, and the ball goes back and into the grasp of the Queenslanders. And Roberts penalises the Blues.
A lot of people might say that was a bad pass from Phil Daly, but looking back over his career, that was one of the better ones. Rolled along the ground to one of the Queensland players, and straight away, Bostad has missed the ball again. He scored a try, Bowie, but he's having all sorts of problems out there.
Gee, they've done us no favours, these front rowers and second rowers. I can't find one that's got the correct shirt on. Anyway, I suppose I half expected Blocker would be a party to all of that. Thank you, big fella. Played by Belcher. Now it's with Reddy. Reddy giving it off for Niebling, but Kenny realising that Niebling and Tessman are causing a bit of trouble, was there waiting for him. 10 points all at the old Lang Park. It's the first national real estate. Legends of rugby league. Kevin Roberts, the man in charge for the second 20. Michael Stone will be back for the third quarter. Les Boyd takes it to the halfway line, and they're out there, all these guys, playing for 3 charitable organisations, including Camp Quality, Kids First, and Hear and Say Centre for Deaf Children. Well, Blocker, talking of Blocker, he's with Andrew on the sidelines now.
Well, Sterlo mentioned some of the players who would still be fit enough to play the game. I'm going to say Blocker could still play it. Superb 35 minutes from you, Block.
I don't know about that, mate. I'll tell you what, there's a few big units I can hide around out there. So, it's good, mate. I enjoy it. I'm loving it.
You came off blowing about Kevin Roberts. What's the problem?
Mate, he's having a shocker. Mate, he is dead set a home crowd referee, that bloke. He's about 5 or 6 mistakes he's made already.
$10,000.
He should give it away. He's too old, mate.
Well, this kick from the Blues has failed to find touch. Belcher's under it. Hastings is back on. An inspired kick and chase by Kevin Hastings. And the Maroons are back on their own line and doing it tough. Number 9 out there for them is Anthony White, taking the place of Greg Conescu for a little while.
Well, Kevin Hastings just came up with 3 tackles in the one movement and forced a mistake.
Don't take any notice when they're telling you to put it behind their feet. Put it there and you'll still win it, mate. You'll still win it, mate. Nice and easy.
Kevin Roberts giving instructions to the young bloke from St John's, and the Blues looking ever so dangerous as Kenny starts to run across the park looking for an inside runner. Graham Eadie's got a replacement out there, and Joseph Igo. And here's Pearce now.
Here's the line, fellas. Carry again.
Close coming in over the top of the low tackle by Gene Miles. Put that down. That's pretty unique. A dual tackle by the centres. That's the closest they've been to each other all night. That's Eadie getting a pass away. Joseph Igo, in fact. Kevin Hastings back and down, and Cleo can't get a grasp of it. It's picked up by the number 12 for Queensland, John Manning. And Belcher now.
First one. Here's the 5, fellas. Bring it back, Phil.
Are they playing a 5, are they? I thought we were playing international rules. Maybe that's why Blocker thinks he's made so many mistakes. Kevin thinks we're playing a 5. Blocker thinks we're playing a 10. No wonder Kevin's getting it wrong. Would somebody tell Kevin?
Hand off the ball.
He's doing all right. You're going good, Robbo. Former Rabbitoh himself as it comes away now from Oliphant, and then through to Wally Lewis, and then a cutout pass for Les Kiss. Lovely tackle by Kenny. Forces the ball loose, and Pearce is there to drop on it. Keep in mind that these youngsters coming on are allowed to be there in numbers of 4 maximum at a time, and they wear the shirt of the player they're replacing. And they're, as Paul said earlier, they're having one hell of a night. They'd be loving every moment of this.
Well, they need to convert this pressure into points here in New South Wales. We've been camped down this end of the field for most of this second quarter. That's the man they need to get involved, Crusher Clell. I think that's his first run with the football. Been used as a decoy many times tonight, basically because he hasn't arrived. As Kevin Hastings throws the ball back to Simmons, the second man. Oh, this is lovely stuff. Kenny, how did he do that?
I don't know, but Guru Growth loves it, and Growth gets the try. Well, it's been threatening out on this right wing, and eventually Eric Growth gets in.
Well, we spoke about the Manly connection putting on the last try. This time it was the old Parramatta firm. Beautiful work on the inside, a couple of decoy plays, good quick hands here, and they're the dummy. And the second man pass, well, Les Kiss caught all ends out there by Eric Growth. Halfway through a blink, Kissy, Lighthouse.
all ends out.
Well, he nearly went out, but took the line fantastic. No man's land, Les Kiss. He'll be disappointed with that effort.
Well, a great record behind this man, Eric Groth. 9 origins for New South Wales, 3 origin tries and 8 tests for Australia. In fact, I've got to say he scored the greatest solo try I've ever seen in rugby league as a commentator, and that was against Canterbury, and I can't quite remember.
Not in 84 in a semi-final.
84 in a semi-final.
That's right.
Jeez, it was a try.
He obviously thinks he's a very attractive man because he's growing more skin. Can you see that?
Yes, I can. There's the sound of Kevin Roberts' whistle. Eric scratches his head and suggests, why will we take a break now? I'm just getting hot. Blocker Roach goes over to the huddle. The first national real estate state of origin will resume very shortly, with New South Wales leading Queensland 14-10. Stadium in Brisbane for the Legends of League, and New South Wales 14, Queensland 10. And tonight, of course, ushers in a great weekend of rugby league. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. live, you will see the final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup between John Paul II of Marryong and Eagle Vale from out Campbelltown Way, 11 o'clock live. And then, of course, tomorrow afternoon, on his second mission for the night. And the Blues from right to left now. O'Connor's kick-off taken to ground by the Queenslanders on the 40-metre line. Greg Dowling it was. And about 5 metres from the halfway line. I'll give you that telephone number again shortly, that you can make a bid for the auction, the oil painting of the Legends, done by Glenn Rowan. Apparently, many people very keen to be the final bidder for that oil painting. Here's Graham Eadie, one of the try scorers, tackle back on his 20-metre line. Let's go down to the sidelines. Here's Andrew Voss.
And right, half-time, not much said in the New South Wales huddle. As a matter of fact, Wayne Pearce had the players eating pita bread and banana sandwiches, which went down really well. Mahatma, what about in the Queensland huddle? What did Wally Lewis have to say?
Lewis said he was happy with the first half and said he wanted his players to keep up the work rate. But he said, keep your eyes on Chickens Ferguson. He's everywhere. He's having a blinder.
Chickens Ferguson, eh? He's the one causing the trouble. Hastings to play it then, 35 metres out from the New South Wales line. And this is Phil Daly. 10 metres on his own side of the halfway on tackle number 5.
It's turned into a Queenslander, Phil Daly. Now lives at Gladstone. As Roy Simmons gets the ball back to Hastings' blocker on the last. He doesn't want the football. Eventually, Michael O'Connor is able to keep the ball alive. Somebody's got to kick the football shortly, not Chicker. Now he does.
Ferguson centres it, and Belcher goes back to get underneath it, and back on the paddock now is Les Kiss. He's outside the 10-metre line as he tries to bump away from a blue jumper. He didn't realise that it was one of the youngsters. The New South Wales replacement for Brett Kenny, Brett Hannigan. And put poor old Kevin down very unceremoniously. This is Lewis giving it back for Testman to give on the Niebling's replacement, and then it comes out and Bosted's replacement can't handle it, and it goes into touch. And Rob D'Alessio plays on the wing for Brothers Mackay, 17 years of age. Not happy with his performance there, but happy that he's part of it, I guess.
Beautiful work from Lewis and Testman on the fringe of the ruck. We've seen a couple of times tonight the players either overrunning or not getting in the right position to take the football.
Blocker's been called out. Watch out, he doesn't pat the referee. Oh, Mick Stone's patted Blocker on the head. It'll cost him 5,000.
Hold your mark, Carl. Hold your mark, Ron.
The eyes on Blocker there.
They haven't changed, have they?
Eadie into the back line. O'Connor.
Help one.
Tell you what, the touchdown's got to happen there in a hurry, didn't he? I think he half thought Blocker was fair dinkum. Now, a little chip and the regather for Pearce. Then he tries to give a short pass away for Brett Kenny's replacement, and the lad was unable to take it in a tight situation, young Hannigan. Just run through these lads' names to pay them their due credit. For the New South Wales team, Joseph Igo, Michael Close, Grantley Crichton, Albert Torren, Stephen Croker, Brett Hannigan, Stephen Doherty, Simon Palin, Wayne Nassif, Dean Gainey, Matthew Vidler, Shane O'Donoghue and Cyril Manoyne. Mundine, is it? As Queensland make a break. Belcher it is with the football. 22 metres out from the line. From Konescu, cross from Oliphant, then Lewis. Short pass for Reddy. Reddy basketballs it over the top, and Mick Stone said it was propelled forward.
See Lewis starting to get more involved in the game. Some beautiful little sleight of hand stuff. Kevin Hastings again coming out with some beautiful cover defence there on a flying Gary Belcher. Here's the Rocket getting one over the top. As Paul pointed out, when Rocket left St George, they lost a bit of bite out of their game.
Pity Ray Price isn't out there, Sterlo. They were great combatants in the mid-70s, Pricey and Rocket.
Yes, very much so. I know that Arthur Beetson was disappointed that Michael Cronin pulled out of this game. Many opportunities to smash Michael Cronin, and Arthur was looking forward to that.
Back on the 20-metre line and Crawford Cleo.
Very unusual, pressure on the blind side.
Let him up! Wait.
Is that phone number coming up again for the auction of the oil painting by Glenn Rowan of tonight's match? The Legends, 07 217 5544. Just ring and ask what the auction bid stands at, and if you want to improve on it, you can. 07 217 5544, and all proceeds from tonight and the auction, of course, going to charity.
That's all right, we'll give him that one.
Beeson did well. He sold a couple of dummies and eventually had the ball knocked out of his hands. All it did, though, was to nullify the tackle count.
We need a flash of brilliance here from the Queensland side. Already trying to get something going on the blind side. Gary Belcher's the man that needs to come up from fullback.
Geez, I wish I could get out there. Pair of boots. There are a pair of boots around.
Well, funnily enough, Paul, with the way you're travelling at the moment, I don't think your game would be much different to what we saw in the halcyon days that you were playing with Queensland. As mobile as you always were, and here's a great chance for Queensland. Oh, great defence once again. That'll be Hastings.
Cross now for Lewis. He keeps the ball very wide on the New South Wales defence line. They must score. Brad Tessman it is who makes the try for Queensland. The king, though, he stretched them with that long pass. And Brad Tessman picks up the try.
Well, he's probably been Queensland's best tonight, Brad Tessman. A good inside ball. This young chap comes through there. The number 12 offloads a nice pass. It was John Manning. Good pass to Tessman there, and the big second row is over.
A great deal of cover defence on the inside there. Wayne Pearce couldn't get over there. Arthur Beetson happy with the work that Brad Tessman's come up with tonight. 5 origins. Made the 1 test for Australia. A 3 or 4 year period. One of the unsung heroes of the Queensland side during that period of time.
We've seen plenty of clubs. Brad Tessman, Wally Lewis has come from the field as the try of Tessman's is converted by Gary Belcher. So midway through the third quarter, Queensland 16, New South Wales 14. Tonight, the First National Real Estate Legends of League. As the try scorer, Brad Tessman, brings it back to his own 30-metre line. Let's go down to the sideline. Mahat McCoat is with Brett Kenny. This will be interesting.
Well, thank you very, very much. Yes, I am here with the great Grant Kenny. Grant, tell me, how does this compare with the Ironman stuff?
Mate, it's Brett, it's not Grant.
That is it. And, of course, you are with your great rival this evening, the great Wally Lewis. How was he playing?
Well, mate, things haven't changed that much. It's probably only about 10 yards slower, but I enjoy playing against Wally, and it's been good out there tonight.
You played very, very well. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Well, he was riveting, Bert. Only man I've ever met who can bench press twice his IQ, Bert. And, well, he can't count to 21 unless he's naked. I don't know whether that's true or not. But, gee, I did make him look good for a lot of years, Ray. Oh, Roy Simmons again. Here's Steve Rogers back into the fray. Oh, a bit of an elbow there.
The elbow.
Well, we might be hearing more about that.
Well, he might get banned for life for that.
Rogers with a swerve back in field. Ferguson had gone back infield looking for the reverse pass, and now the big fellow Roach chimes in. They take him out of the game, and Ferguson is able to pick up a loose ball. He plays it 15 out from the line. Hastings flops the pass out wide. Simmons then promotes it, and Pearce does the dancing. They're out there looking for the corner, and they've gone into touch.
Oh, it's the same bloke, no doubt. Same bloke. No way no one was the young Eric Grove replacement, Michael Close, anywhere near the line here, and this will show it up perfectly. Look at that. Nowhere near the line. Was able to stay in touch, and that's the second try that New South Wales have been robbed of.
What's that white stuff on his boots?
They're striped. They're the Adidas stripes.
That's his laces.
Exactly. Well,
block has been called out again.
I'm surprised that Steve Roach hasn't been... Steve...
I think Beetson's indicating that he was bitten.
Okay. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, no worries. Okay, there it is. Wait for it. Hold, hold. We're on loose.
This is Rogers carrying the ball, and we thought there might have been a touch of an elbow there, but I don't think it got above the chest, really.
Let him up.
As we find Queensland now with Belcher playing it just inside the 20-metre line. Ready, still going strong, Rod Ready. Been one of the surprises, really, of this match. Cadescu a dummy half. 16 points to 14 in favour of the Queenslanders.
L3! Bill!
Kiss up the blind side. Shoot and caught by the youngster out there in the number 2 shirt, Michael Close. Beetson over the halfway line. Simmons is there to take it.
Little Elmer Bud there, thief in the night. A fine game as New South Wales go to the back line straight away. Michael O'Connor keeping the ball alive. Nice tackle on Graham Eady to it. Well,
it certainly was, Peter. You're quite right. And here's Ferguson now. Back on the inside. The ball goes loose. The Blues trying to do too much with it. Referee Stone waits to give the advantage to Queensland, which they're entitled to, and Belcher starts to carve them up. Eventually runs into the waiting shoulder of Wayne Pearce. Oliphant, he's back. Gee, he's had a long rest, Greg.
Hot. You're right.
He's almost gone AWL. Oliphant.
Not gone both ways. We'll have a scrum. Brad.
I can remember he and Bradonicus got into the square ring on one of the many occasions. They decided to sort themselves out. I think they took them down to a thing called Rocky Arvo, which turned out to be one hell of a mess down at the Opera House one day, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, Fatty was down there. He was in about. He was shadow boxing in the shadow one.
35 out now from the Queensland line, 16-14, and the boys from the Sunshine State lead by 2. Oh, Rogers, what a beautiful piece of work.
Held one!
There weren't too many better centres than Steve Rogers. If, in fact, there was, of course, people before Rogers will tell you Gasnier was the best.
He was magic, Steve Rogers. Could kick goals from anywhere, and he was the mainstay of Cronulla for 10 or 11 years. Big Milton on the charge. A shame how his career ended with a broken leg at Widnes.
Roach out wide as first receiver, and then letting a decoy go before putting Noel Cleal almost to the 10-metre line. Royce Simmons goes into dummy half. They keep going the same way. Probably that's because that's the only side of the field they've got players on. Eady now looks for Michael Close, the replacement on the far side, and they come up with a try for Eric Groth. So big guru Groth gets his second, even though he doesn't know much about it.
Well, big Graham Eady there. He's finally decided to cut loose in this match. The former great Manly fullback. He's got one of the biggest melons I've ever seen in the world. Used to win the big head contest at the Stain every year. And Michael Close, what a great moment for him.
He plays wing for Barraba in New South Wales. He's only 16, the kid. And apparently he goes to St John's College, Woodlawn, up at Lismore.
And you are going to knock the size of people's heads after that baby photo we saw on the footy show last night.
You look like you were born ahead and grew on the end of it.
You were 2.5 stone when you were born. 1.5 stone was head.
That's right.
I was 2 days old when that photo was taken.
That Rodney Rube did a comedy skit on that. It was called The Head. I think they might have done it on you, actually. Fancy you picking on Wombat Edie's head. The attempted conversion then. Talking of Graham from out wide, and not a bad kick, just wide of the uprights. So the Blues, against all odds, the touch judge has given them a real serve up. They're leading by 2 points, 18-16.
Well, this is great finishing out wide here. Young close. Look at the acceleration there, straight through 3 Queensland defenders.
Check out numbers, will you?
Certainly not that difficult to do, I must admit.
It's amazing, isn't it? These players, they lose their speed and their pace, but they never lose their skill. It's always there, and that pass was perfectly timed by the bat.
Reddy now takes over the restarting duties. The ball with Graham Edie. He was building up ahead of Steve, and then he caught a glimpse of Conescu, and then Testman out of the corner of his eye, and he slowed down.
But I thought I saw a snail run past him then.
Boyd's back with us now. Got a new surge of life in a few of these fellows now. Beatso's back, and so is Boyd. Crusher Cleal with a struggling run. He hasn't made the impact runs that we thought he might. Big Crusher. Couldn't he hit the line? Daly, he puts it inside, and the Blues put it down, and Conescu crawling along the ground like his nickname implies.
Now, on his day, Crusher was probably one of the best ball-running forwards in the world, and he could carve up any defence, but it was about 5 days in his career, actually.
Roach looked like he might have had a little nibble on Reddy's ear there. It apparently looked rather appetising. 5'8" is Lewis. In fact, it is Scott Rutherford. Oliphant. And here's Beatson out wide, only because he can't get in any closer. He didn't have enough time. Ferguson! Well, Michael Stone's called it up. They've done it to us again, still.
Oh, turn it up. You're kidding, aren't you?
Well, Queensland are saying that Brett Kenny touched the football. Nowhere near it. Absolutely nowhere near it. See here, the short pass from Beaton. Totally unimpeded there. It was a bad pass, and Chica was away.
There's Blocker there, encouraged to have a close inspection of Reddy's ear. And I think he might have trod on some of those locks as he got up. Andrew on the sideline.
And I'm with the New South Wales captain, Wayne Pearce. We had many great moments in your career, but what about it? You're up by 2, 3 out from three-quarter time. If you could win tonight, that'd be one of the highlights to lead the New South Wales legend side.
Definite highlight. I mean,
just hang on a second, Jim. There's a try for Conescu.
Oh, to get back on there.
The Turtle's gone in for a try. Wayne, he wouldn't have scored it had you been there.
No, he wouldn't have scored it if you had been there, would he, Junior?
I don't know about that. I was gone.
Well, the Tortoise, he does all himself. The Tortoise, the legend. Look at the gap steaming through it. Look at the speed of the man. Incredible stuff from the curly-headed wonder.
Well, that's just great dummy half work here. Look at the way he looks to his right-hand side. The little head feint there, then the little smile. He knows he's in. Blocker coming across. All Blocker was going to do was stop him going over the dead ball line. And that puts Queensland back in front. 9 tests for Australia, Greg Conescu.
And he was as tough as they came.
Have a look at this goal kicker. Arthur Beatson is a less than glorious attempt. The big fellow heads back to join his teammates. They lead by 20 points to 18. With apologies to Wayne Pearce, Wayne was about to tell us what it was like, the glory of leading New South Wales, when suddenly Greg Conescu put a fly in the ointment, so to speak. 20 points to 18. Maroon Magic is on the scoreboard. 20 points to 18, close to three-quarter time.
Well, they need the short kick-off here to try and get something going in this last minute and a half. Oh, Growth could have come up with the football. That was a lovely kick. Left-footed restart from Graham Edie, and well, this is a surprise. Eric Growth is hurt, and even a bigger surprise, he's actually got up and will participate for more of this game.
Queensland now with Chris Close.
A little bit quite choppy tonight. Man of the match in the very first State of Origin game. I think he's pressing for that award tonight. In fact, he won it for the first 2 State of Origin games. Rod Reddy. There's a Shepherd.
I think Choppy's pressing for the man with the highest blood pressure award, just looking at his head.
Cleal throwing a dummy that fooled nobody, and then Roach got it on for Kenny.
Oh, flying tackle from Beatson.
Ball comes loose and the penalty goes to New South Wales. He's got Arthur for raking the ball out.
What's this tackle? Leaving the ground, classic stuff from Big Beatson. He never tackled like that 30 years ago.
He'd rake it out too, Arthur. I didn't think he had enough petrol in his tank to do anything else. 20 points to 18. And we're right on three-quarter time. And there it is, the end of that session. So we'll take a break and back for the final quarter in just a moment. New South Wales down by 2 points with 20 minutes to go. But then blows time on as we welcome you back. And automatically a penalty goes to Queensland. New South Wales players offside at the restart. So Roberts putting a pretty tough call on the Blues. Queensland leading by 2 points then, 20 points to 18.
Well, we actually heard at the beginning of the last quarter the referee telling the players to stay behind the kicker. Blues too keen to get down there. Now 42 metres out. Koneski will come across and take the tap. Maybe the next try scorer could get away with this game. Bowstead. Really wrapped up there. Beatson, dominant figure, first receiver.
Pep talk at three-quarter time was left to Arthur. Very colourful pep talk it was too. Niebling had his eyes on it, but Bryant's put it down. He won't be happy with his performance there because he and Tessman, they got away to a great start, both of them, the second rowers. Tessman near enough to the best player on the park. Kenny using Graham Eadie. Close was able to hold him for a period of time. The ball coming back now for New South Wales to work it out to the 30-metre line.
Paul, do you think that the fatigue factor might play a role at the end of this game, this last 20 minutes?
I think it's been playing a role for the last 70 myself. They got tired running out on the paddock before full time. Kick-off, yeah.
There's Boyd now.
He's gone all right, Boyd, hasn't he? It's shown up that he only retired a matter of 4 or 5 months ago, and he could have been, should have been known as one of the greatest players of all time. You know, he had so much ability. Unfortunately, he did a few things wrong and spent so much time on the sideline, but he was a great player.
Queensland then, they come up with the mistake offered to them by the Blues. Right on the halfway line, Konescu using Beatson. Oh, look at Beatson with the dummy and providing some open space for the support. Gene Miles to the 20-metre line, feeding the ball back. But Brian Niebling's replacement, in fact, it's Brad Tessman's replacement, out through Greg Oliphant now.
He played the advantage, Kevin Roberts. There's a hand at the end there as well as Oliphant throws the dummy, tries to step back inside, can't beat. Strong tackle there from Graham Eadie. Centre field, good options either side. They'll go to Beatson. Really looking to finish the game on a high note after Beatson.
Close. Pass looked a bit sus, and Kevin Roberts thought it was too. Close. It was one of those 8 players on show tonight that were here in 1980 at the opening of Origin football. Bowstead, Close, Oliphant, Lewis, Reddy, Beatson, Eadie and Rogers, to name them all. And the Blues now go to the wing. Ferguson's replacement pulled down and into touch.
Now, what about the cover from Terry Bowstead?
Sensation. Looked like Bowstead on Terry Fay all those years ago. Sensational play by little Bowie. Champion winger in his day. Manly, North Sydney and eastern suburbs. And that's a classic tackle.
Thing was, he did it so easily too. Youngster. They're never going to get away from him.
Stephen Croker it was, his real name. As Belcher does well, and Gene Miles strides over the halfway line. Across to the far wing. Les Kess's replacement out there. About 25 metres out from the New South Wales line. Queensland leading by 2 points. And 16 minutes of the match remaining. Konescu out very wide. Bosted gets involved. Beatson was on the wing. Bosted is there now. And Beatson is getting wider and wider. I think he's probably heading for the replacements bench if he can find it. And that pass was forward. Roberts didn't see that one. Intercepted by the Blues. And this is Michael O'Connor. The youngsters are after him, and he puts it down.
Oh, and what about the best thing about that? Is he expected to catch the ball?
He was fair dinkum there. He was. Oh, turn it up, Snoz.
He can give himself a rap, Snoz, but
one of your worst ever. He's kidding. What's the intercept? Now he's trying to be a bit of a smarty. They're all chasing him, no impression. Look at this, I'll just muck around here and just throw it up and catch it. And he couldn't get it. You're kidding, Snuggle.
Well done, Michael. The scrum then.
Oh, that might get a start in the Brisbane footy show, I think, next week.
Lewis. Little insignia underneath it. What was he trying to do? Lewis and Miles combined. How many times have we heard that or seen that in Origin football? One of the great combinations. Probably the greatest combination of all time in Origin football.
What
Lewis and Miles.
The Voigt-Gilmeister combination.
I forgot about that. Michael O'Connor's down there with Andrew Voss. Can you ask him, Andrew, what he was trying to do?
Well, exactly. What a great lesson for the young players watching tonight. Michael, what happened?
Oh, I think I pulled a hammy.
What?
I pulled a hamstring.
But you threw the ball in the air. Why was that? What was that about?
Oh, that was a reaction to pulled hamstring, I think. I can't say anything more than that.
Just lie. Just lie.
Oh, he's gone.
Wasn't a bad cover. Pretty good smother for himself.
It's the first time I've ever heard of a pulled hamstring making you throw the ball away. Anyway, it gave the impression to me that Michael O'Connor might have had a couple of dollars on Queensland. He does live up here these days. And here's the king into some space. Almost to the halfway line, they pick him up and drop him on the ground. Halfway line. Miles through Konescu. And the fellow in the number 11 has kept himself busy. Damien Cooper it is.
Good luck there for the Maroons. 6 more tackles. Oliphant on the blind side. He's got Miles, who's been quiet and boasted. Great hands. And got smashed. Hastings over the top once again. He's had a great game, the number 7.
Oliphant. Niebling. Number 8 out there for the Queenslanders is Drew Hamilton. Lewis puts on a little sprint and then offers the pass, but it goes to ground. It might be 6 more. It was knocked back, I thought, by the Blues. Roberts doesn't agree. He simply says knock backwards, play on. And some scrappy stuff out there.
Well, look, New South Wales shouldn't really have tried to put any pressure on Queensland there. The way Queensland were going, the ball could have ended up down the other end without the Blues' help. Things just starting to fall into place for the Maroons now. They've had a little bit of luck. Here's Lewis getting involved.
Leave him.
Oliphant calling it on the right, so they go to the left, away from Greg, and it goes to Reddy, and there's Beatson out there again. As I said earlier, getting wider by the moment. Trouble is, he's gone to the wrong side of the ground. He's going to have a hell of a walk when they do give him a rest.
He is getting wide. He won't fit into his jumper in a minute.
Across to Oliphant. And Lewis looking for the short pass, and the pass was forward, says Roberts.
Another good call there by Kevin Roberts. That was the furthest Greg Oliphant's run all night.
What about the 99 he's missed? How come this was a good call, to use your word?
No, Ollie, he's just been a great ball distributor. He ran 4 steps in. That's a big run for Ollie.
Well, the Blues are on their own 20-metre line, and they've got a bit of work to do.
Now that's the foundation they need. They need some good stuff in the middle of the ruck. Pearce should have had someone coming there. Boyd would have been the man to come. It's going to be Roach. This is better stuff from the Blues. Good controlled work.
Boyd. One of the youngsters from St Patrick's College, Mackay, tried to tackle Les Boyd. He couldn't get his arms around his arm, let alone his waist. Simmons. And that's Daly. That's 2. That surname again reminds me of tomorrow. Don't forget, you'll see with Sydney blacked out, but you'll see it at 8:30 tomorrow night in Sydney. 8:30 the replay, the full replay, and live around Australia from 2:50 tomorrow afternoon in all other centres. It's going live into Melbourne, I'm led to believe. Live up to here, Norths and Canberra, the major preliminary. 8:30 replay for you people in Sydney. And live tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, the Commonwealth Bank Cup. As Kenny puts it down behind him, Roberts agrees with that. Pearce gets a pass away, but it's been knocked down by Les Kiss on the far wing. So this will be a New South Wales feed.
There it is over here, fellas.
To their loose head. Yes, that'll be an interesting cup final. In fact, isn't it? I don't mean this to be disrespectful to St Gregory's or Fairfield Pats or Parramatta Marist or Holy Cross or anybody. Isn't it lovely to see some, and Padua, isn't it lovely to see some fresh names on that Commonwealth Bank Cup final billboard?
A mistake there from New South Wales, and both of those sides, Eagle Vale and John Paul, contesting their first Commonwealth Bank Cup final. 2 very good teams. It'll be a great game of football. We're going to see the future first graders and maybe guys that are going to be participating in something like this 10 or 15 years down the track.
Chopper close. Chris tackle on the halfway line. Some of these fellows, their real names get lost by a flood of nicknames. In fact, we might just give them a nickname call here. Paul, you know them better than I do.
Well, there's Dishhead playing the ball.
Yes, and that's the king.
Or Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear, that's right.
Bowie, Chopper.
Tessie.
Rocket. Chopper.
Horse.
Puss.
Horse.
Horse.
Horse back to Choppy.
Puss. You call him Puss. I'm not going to again.
Oh, great work from Choppy. Finds the horse.
GD, Dishhead, Fozzie Bear, Rocket.
Oh, dummy.
Out wide for the Turtle. The Turtle gets in to score. You little beauty, Turtle.
Oh, the shell.
Double for him.
The shell's on fire tonight. Look at him go. Tortoise out there on the wings, on the flanks. The King looks over. He's tired. This is a pass-a-thon here. This is one of the best tries you'll ever see in the last minute. And Rocket's in heavily involved. Choppy. Horse is heavily involved as well a couple of times. And they just needed someone to go forward. There's the man, the go forward man there, Choppy.
Yeah, great work there. Keeping the ball alive. What about that great pass here? Why Dishhead threw the pass, I'll never know. No one was going to tackle him. The dummy throwing again. And he had a little bit of support on the outside. And a very important conversion attempt coming up here. There's 6 in front at the moment. There's the Turtle getting his second. She got a little bit late getting across. Looks up at the scoreboard, hoping there's going to be a replay so that everybody can see him.
Imagine having some soup made on the broth of Greg Krinescu.
He's looking for the replay on the screen.
There they are,
2
the
tries.
2 fingers, Peter. The victory salute.
The King.
2 tries.
If anyone kicked the goal, it's the King, and he comes. Boot strikes the ball to Barry.
Oh, he's hit the corner post.
24 points to 18 the score. A break and we're back for the closing session in just a moment. Welcome back. Coming to you from Brisbane on a night, I guess, of informality, a night when we let down a little bit and let some of the past masters of the game do their thing for charity. We must be reminded of that. Here and Say Centre for Deaf Children, Camp Quality, Kids First, they're all going to be beneficiaries of what these very fine footballers are doing by appearing here tonight in the annual Legends of Rugby League contest.
Bad mistake here by Joseph Igo, dropping the ball. Brett Kenny certainly not happy.
Just get that phone number out for you again if you're interested in making a bid for that oil painting. 07 217 5544. A one-off chance to buy a fantastic oil painting by Glenn Rowan. 07 217 5544. They'll tell you what the leading bid is as Brian Niebling takes it to the 30-metre line. Brian all right? Yes, he is. Oliphant. Lewis. Ready. He's cut out. Miles goes back in. Nearly a shepherd. Miles a one-hander across. And that's Greg Dowling. Ridden into the ground. Daly and Hastings.
Did they set for the field goal, Paul? State of Origin.
Oh, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on a draw tonight. This match, as Belcher puts the little one through, he can't go through. Testman picks it up, goes forward, and a knock on there by the Queensland side. So New South Wales in possession, 20 metres out from their own line. Rucking it out now, the Blues.
So the Blues bring it away. Pearce is back on. Boyd is outside the 30-metre line. Let's go down to Andrew Voss. He's with Michael Stone, the referee.
And Ray, New South Wales down by 6, and more bad news. Mick Stone with me. Mick, apparently you found reason to put Steve Roach on report.
Yes, I'm afraid so, Andrew. There's a couple of incidents. There's a late tackle in the 7th minute, biting in the 12th minute, high tackle in the 23rd minute, biting again in the 35th minute, and abusing the referee in the 47th, 48th, 50th and 53rd minute, and biting yet again in the 55th minute. I think I'll be up burning the midnight oil writing the report.
Matty will only give it a week, won't he?
Probably a caution.
Actually, one of Blocker's cleaner games tonight. I think he's controlled himself marvellously well. Ray, did you say Pearce off?
Yes, I said Pearce was off.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that he wasn't on.
Here's Tessman. Queensland leading by 6 points, and we're inside the 3.5-minute mark. Mahatma hasn't nodded off down there, Andrew, has he? Any chance? Here's close! He's over the line! Queensland touch judge says he didn't go over the in-touch in-goal line. A dubious hit over the top by Kenny.
No, nothing dubious, and that was an accidental kick at the end of it as well.
What's it all right to kick him?
Well, look, that wasn't a try. Like, why wouldn't you be frustrated? There's no way known that this should have been allowed. It's happened so many times here at Lang Park that, like, he was tackled well and he was called held. He's played on. Brett Kenny didn't hear.
He didn't mean to do that.
He was trying to stop the ball from being grounded, and he had every right to do so. Now look, we see on the replay he's tackled there. Okay.
Where?
Back there. The referee should have called held.
In actual fact, he tripped and fell over the line. Look at how red his head is. If his head gets any redder, we'll have a sprinkler system.
Have a look at this kick from the sideline. Just waved away.
Yeah, good.
Off the boot of Gary Belcher. What are you talking about? By comparison with the other kicks tonight, it was a good kick, a beauty. 28-18. Is Mahatma still with us or not, Andrew?
He's still here, Mahatma. You're loving it, aren't you?
I'm telling you what a great try by big Glenn Close. That was a beautiful piece of work.
Imagine being in a fatal attraction situation with Chopper Close. That'd be the end of it.
I have been. I got caught in the lip with him once. He had a beef curry.
This is Niebling. 28 out from his own line. Roach and Konescu involved in a little bit of biffo in back play as Dowling is put away. 28-18. Lewis got around the corner pass on. Oh, the young boy from Mackay picked up and put down quite solidly by Wayne Pearce.
A Wayne Pearce special. Been on the end of many of them myself now. Ooh. And now the Crushers gets involved. Well, that's unbelievable. He's gone, the Crutch.
He's pulled the
He's made his one tackle for the match and he's gone.
Now Close goes looking for Miles. Miles back for Close. This is taking plenty of petrol out of Close's tank. He's never run so far. Now the Blues come back with it. Only a matter of 60 seconds left on the clock. 28-18, Queensland have got them. Guru Growth up the blind, away from one. Pulled down eventually by Les Kiss. Long run made by Growth. Hastings pushes it out. Rogers is back on. Ferguson angles across. The pass is with Hastings. Then back inside for Boyd. Intercepted by Brian Niebling. Niebling pursued by Ferguson. Niebling will score. Brian Niebling gets in to score the last try of the game.
Oh, the desperation football by the Blues there. And in the end, Brian Niebling wraps it up for the mighty Maroons, typical of many of the victories they've had here at Lang Park, now called Suncorp Stadium. But pushing the passes here, and Horse just looming around out wide, waiting for the scraps, and here it comes. And the Horse strides away on the gallop. Away he goes. There's the full-time hooter.
32 points to 18. The kick to come, and Brian Niebling gets the final try. Kerry Bowstead will take the shot. Nobody really cares. He misses as players converge upon one another. And Embracement and Conescu are still telling people about his two-try effort tonight. A little bit of claret there from the face of the Emperor. 32-18.
Well, it's been a wonderful match, and it's all for a great cause, for charity. Those kids there that filled in when the legends were out, they've had a marvellous night. Dreams come true for them. Chickens Ferguson there.
Chickens. It's not happening. You have started something now.
Fair dinkum. The big block, he showed some form. He went all right, the old Roachy. And it's been a great night. The King,
all right.
He's been split, the King.
Well, that just about takes care of the main part of the match, but there is a presentation to come. The man of the match, the winning captain, and the presentation from First National Real Estate. We'll have all that for you. We'll just take a little break and give Sterlo a chance to get downstairs. The legend himself will be back with you in just a moment.
That was a tremendous promotion tonight, a unique opportunity to see the very best players in our game perform once again, and pretty competitive night as well. And Queensland getting the money as they've done so many times here at Lang Park in the past. A lot of people to thank. I'll leave that to other people down the track. But tonight we did have a player of the match, and the man chosen as the man of the match, a Queenslander who had a great game. Would you please make welcome Greg Conescu as tonight's man of the match. Turtle, nice prize.
Yeah, it's a great prize, Phil. I appreciate it very much. It was a good feeling out there tonight, good spirit, and it was good to see the players being able to put something back into the game.
Great to see so many players turn up tonight. Must have been difficult to get everybody together, but we've really got the cream of what we've had from State of Origin over 11, 12 years.
Oh, there's some great players amongst them, and you put all these guys on at their peak, and you got a fair side. I just hope the Kangaroo selectors are watching the game tonight.
Well, I can assure you they were well played tonight. Congratulations, especially on the prize and the result. And of course, there is a trophy for this particular match, and we'd like to call on Mr. O'Donoghue, who is the Director of Chairman for the First National Real Estate Organisation, to lift the trophy and present it to the winning captain, Mr. Wally Lewis. Mr. O'Donoghue, thank you for your involvement.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Peter. As Australia's largest real estate group, the First National Real Estate Network is very proud to be the principal sponsor of this event tonight. I must say we have seen a marvellous game of rugby league. It really has been very exciting to see the skills that have been portrayed here tonight. It's been marvellous for two reasons. I believe that we've been able to go back in time and see the marvellous players of that era, the memories that we've got from that time, and see what has taken place. The second reason, I believe, of course, is, which is probably possibly the most important reason, is the fact that we have been able to raise some funds for three very worthy organisations. The money raised from tonight's First National Real Estate Legends of League game will be going to the Kids First Appeal, which was for Australians Against Child Abuse, Hearsay and Cam Quality. It is now my pleasure to present on behalf of the First National Real Estate Legends of League game for this evening the winning trophy to the captain of Queensland, Wally Lewis. Congratulations, Wally. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic game, and thanks very much for putting it on for us.
We're very glad. First of all, I'd just like to thank all of the general public that have turned up here tonight to help support the 3 charities tonight. We've got to thank, of course, First National Real Estate, who have been the proud sponsors, and all the other sponsors that have helped us put this night on. It's been a terrific night. Probably hasn't been what you would have seen a decade ago from any of these players here. But I'm sure you'll agree that every one of these fellows out there gave their 100% best efforts tonight to try and make sure everybody here at the ground got their money's worth. I'm sure through Channel 9 at home, everybody would have enjoyed things just as much as we enjoyed everything here. I can just say one thing that everybody here felt very proud of, Sturlo, that was we got the chance once again to play alongside Arthur Beetson, one of the greatest legends of all time, and to my way of thinking, Queensland's greatest ever footballer.
Well, Wally, I think you're in that category as well, but certainly a great night. Congratulations to Wally Lewis and the Queensland guys. That brings us to an end of the Legends Night, the State of Origin players here at Suncorp Stadium. But don't